down. They'll run with Gore. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 8 yards on the pick out there, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. And this is incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find a completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Just a couple there on the 2nd down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Throwing on 3rd down, Tannehill. It's caught, Stills, right side. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. To throw is Tannehill. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Tannehill. It's complete. It's Gore. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. This one tough. They need 9 yards on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Tannehill now back to the ground game here. Gore. He showed some tough running, but they'll drop him at the 5-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. He'll get up the middle. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe the Dolphin got going a little early.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still third down.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal. From the gun, here's Tannehill. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Sanders' kick is good, and that will make this now a 19. So he's got another field goal, his 4th now in the game. He's making it look easy out there.
He certainly is, and they're always aiming for a swing of the leg that repeats under pressure, right? So nothing's different. He's got that right now because confidence is breeding confidence.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. Now Abdullah, the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll run it now out of the gun. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They go back to Reddick. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
They'll run it here with Blount. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Here's Sam Martin now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
They give it off here to the tight end. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
Now Gore. He'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Officially, no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Another carry now for Gore. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Well, just like you said, they've got the lead. Don't do anything silly. Run the football, and that's what they did.
They would have liked to have created a little more room for their punter, but he'll take what they gave him, and he'll go out there now and try and get the ball off and help his defense.
Here's Matt Hawk now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Take it at the 37. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Lions will take over. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had a punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. On 1st down, Stafford here. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll make it a 2nd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Now stopped him in his tracks. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now it's Tannehill. Under pressure, and he's going to go down. Tannehill sacked.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gore. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Ziggy Ansah coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Here's Matt Hawk now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. Call that one an even 60 yards. 6-0. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They start on the ground here with Blunt. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just pin their ears back and get after him now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. The safety, Rashad Jones, brings him down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 3 quarters have come and gone. But we'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. To throw on second down is Stafford. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And it's third down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Here is Matt Prater now. He's got the leg for this as he holds the NFL record with a 64-yarder back in 2013. This will be from 56 yards out. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and this score will stay right where it is. Here comes Ryan Tannehill now, leading his offense back out there. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella, because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
30! Ready, hot!
They'll start on the ground with Gore. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Tannehill stepping up. He's going to keep it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Tannehill able to take off and pick up the first as well.
But to me, this leads to the question, do you admire the way he puts his body out there all the time, or do you think he should protect himself a little bit more?
Well, he's been on the ground several times with all those sacks that he's taken. So, I don't know, I kind of admire him not sliding down there, don't you?
I'm with you on that one. The meter definitely leans towards admiration.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Go! 30!
On the counter, Gore. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And this carry number 20 for Frank Gore. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They want pressure on your big offensive line.
The last Plays each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Set. 30.
Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Jason Sanders now for the Miami field goal. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this
to go now. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer
this time?
Yeah, get a little
closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. From the gun, here's Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Stafford now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, a 22. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, it's Stafford. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Screen pass to Blunt. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The Lions on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Now it's Martin to do the honors after the made field goal. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Tannehill and the Dolphins break the huddle. Come up 1st and 10 at the 20.
30.
Off play action, Tannehill. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he'll take this one only up to about the 21. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down. Play action. It's Tannehill going deep here for Stills. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. Fielded just inside the 20. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I think you have to chalk that one up for the defense there. Someone right on the spot. Excellent coverage. Didn't leave him enough room to come down inbounds, even though he did catch the football.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
The Lions on 3rd down. % success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Stafford on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference. Defense.
So the contact came
Automatic
before the
first
ball
down.
got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him, and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 at the 19. Now a carry for Blunt. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Lions on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 4. Now Stafford. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start. Offense.
And that'll set them back 5.
Still 4th down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Golden Tate, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. Again, it's Stafford. And they're going to get the two. It's caught. So they get the conversion, and now we're back to a one-score game. And that almost makes it a brand-new ball game. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the two.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the two-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their two-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So now here come the Dolphins. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. Second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now, I'm looking directly at the field general, at the quarterback. This, to me, he's got to take over right now. By word, pumping his team up, and then, of course, by deed with his play. My high school coach used to say that all the time.
Laddie,
take over by word and deed.
And deed means action.
Exactly.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now, to stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A big kick that time, 52 yards. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Throwing on first down. Stafford. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. Cameron Wake coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Operating from the gun. Stafford throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Stafford. And he comes back with one complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Detroit. Comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And a nice pickup as this one gets them to the 10-yard line. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And he finds Stills, complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. Tannehill finding Stills, and it's a Dolphin first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run. It's Gore. It'll be a minimum pickup, and it will take us to the 2-minute warning. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Again they run, again it's Gore. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now it's Gore. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on for the 5th time here today. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. He's back to throw. Out to the flat for Reddick. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it 2nd down. Clock running, about to hit 90 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. Over the middle, complete to Tate. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Kiko Alonso. And this will have been returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, they needed the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, but they're not going to get a shot at either. This is a great play here defensively, Brandon, and at a time that they sorely needed one. And that could be enough to help get them out of here with a victory.
The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Dolphins are winners here as we say so long from South Florida.